Robert C. Peters just woke up. He's going to go live again. You know what? I ain't got nothing else to do. Hey, remember this guy from last night? Well, I decided you've reached Rymerpt PT, Robert C. Peters YouTube channel. Welcome. Welcome. Hope you enjoy yourself. Grab yourself a cup of coffee. I got a big one. Oh, God. Hello. Uh-huh. I just couldn't get enough of y'all. I couldn't get enough. I'm going to play dentist for a minute. Let's paint this dude some teeth. Give him some teeth. Hello, boys and girls. So, one of my biggest memories as a child was Saturday morning cartoons. And if you're old enough to remember Saturday morning cartoons, a big old bowl of Captain Crunch and hell, maybe even putting sugar on it because you like sugar. And then watching cartoons and eating cereal until you were just numb in the head. Tell me, what was... Hello, Grumpy! How you doing, buddy? Hey, oh my God. They wouldn't let me at work because of my open-toed shoe from my foot. So I had to take a couple more days of vacay. So, which is fine. I got them on the books, but this is going to max out my vacay and go back on Monday. God damn it. So, like I was saying, what was your favorite cartoons? Are you Hanna-Barbera? Are you Disney? Are you Robert C. Peters, straight from his garage, cartoon sketches of Don Martin? Or do you have something altogether different that you liked in the Saturday mornings that you like to watch on your TV while you're eating your Captain Crunch? Grumpy knows. Grumpy's from my generation. He understands that shit. Yes, he does. These youngins nowadays, man, they're dumb as fucking rocks. It's scary. Have you ever seen a teenager, let's say maybe, I don't know, maybe 17, maybe 18 years old, try to dial a rotary telephone, the kind you put your finger in, you go, they have no idea how them damn things work. It's hilarious. And poor children. They needed times when we grew up. They're just going to waste with their damn cell phones and their damn, good gracious. It's just awful. You know, I actually have to card people for buying spray paint. Isn't that something? I don't, unless they look young. Then I do. But almost everybody that comes through my line at the Home Depot is older than that. And instead of slowing the line down and actually asking for their ID, I can tell how old they are. I know they're older than 18. And I just enter close to my birthday, put 1963, and presto changeo, it goes through the system so I can process their spray paint. And everybody and their grandma's buying spray paint because they want to be inside because it's raining outside. Oh my God. People. Yeah, what was it? Let's see, I guess today is Saturday. Wednesday. Yeah, that's right. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Anyway, I went back to work after being off for that week of vacation, because the doctor wanted me to kind of lay low and take care of my foot, I go back and I have that booty on, and I'm out on the floor about halfway through my shift. The front end supervisor sees that I got a booty on, and it's open toe, and I can understand it all. But she come to me and she says, "You got a note for that?" I reached into my pocket, and yes, I had a note. And she says, "You know what? You got to run this through the manager, and they've got to run it through corporate to see if we can get you something else to do, because you really can't be out on the floor with an open toe shoe." And I thought, okay, well, that makes sense. I mean, for God's sakes, it's Home Depot. They got stuff could fall on my foot. I'm like, fuck. And so I thought, damn it, I got to come in early because I got to work tomorrow. I got to see a manager before I do that. And then it occurred to me, well, there's a manager on duty now, Robert. So I tracked him down on my break, and I gave him the note, and he made a copy of it and said he would process it, and to just go ahead and come on in tomorrow, and we'll figure out what we're going to do with you. Now, they had this was yesterday, they had a chili cook-off. They do a lot of stuff like that, by the way. It's really awesome. And so I go into the break room. First off, I look for our HR person. Nowhere to be found. And then I realized we got the chili cook-off, and I thought, I know damn well where that person is. They're in there guarding that chili. So I go into the break room, and there's the chili. They had like maybe 6 different crock pots that people had brought, because we're doing a chili contest. And when we do a contest like that, we have a prize for the winner. So you got to pay $5 to eat the chili, and the $5 goes toward the prize for the winner. And I thought, okay. And there's my HR person, and I looked at her and I said, "Hey, did you get my note? Did they give you my note? And what's the verdict? What are we doing?" And she looked at me. She says, "Robert, we can't have you working with an open toe shoe." And I says, "That's kind of what I thought. So what are we going to do?" And I thought quickly, and I said, "You know what? I've got a few more days of vacay. Can I just plug those in? Because I'm supposed to work tonight, supposed to work Saturday night, supposed to work Sunday night. I think I've got a good 3 days worth of vacation left. Can we just go ahead and take those?" She says, yeah, if you want to do that. And then what? Come back Monday? And I says, yeah, I'm supposed to wear this booty so that nothing clunks up against the front end of my toe. But I'm at the tail end of it. I'm about ready to go back to regular shoes anyway. I think another 3 days and we'll be fine. And I'll just, I'll come with my Hoka shoes, and they're good shoes. I'll be fine. Let's do that. Can you take up the rest of my vacation days, which is Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, and then I'll just go back to work on Monday. And she said, yeah, that's fine. So there you go. Now it's you and me messing with this cool little dude I made last night, and we're gonna paint him up a little bit, his eyeballs, and then I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna carve and make something else. Did I show you those things that lady brought up to Joe's Emporium, and she called them monkey brains? These things here. Look at this. She says, "I'm gonna bring you monkey brain and see if you can carve a monkey brain." Apparently, it's like a dried citrus. So I think I'm gonna carve one of those. Maybe make a witch's face on that. So that's next up on the adventures of Robert C. Peters. At least you had some time on the book. Yeah, if I didn't have time on the books, that would have sucked. Because Robert C. Peter needs some cash. I need some cash. Gotta pay for my goodies. Hey, I did that putting the links into my system so that people can see my wish list, my email address, and my Venmo. So maybe somebody gonna pop me a couple bucks so I can get me a coffee. That'll be cool. Really cool. Oh my. You know, I bet I'd be good at doing toenails. I'm pretty decent with this stuff. You know, I didn't realize until recently that I had so much nail polish. Because I used to make, if you're a fisherman, you understand what a popper is. A topwater lure. I'm a fly fisherman, or have been. And I was tying my own flies. And somebody said, well, you're really good with doing flies. Have you tried doing poppers? And I said, for fly fishing? They said, yeah, for bass, man. Get yourself some balsa wood, carve it down, shape it up, put it on a hook, glue it to a hook, and instead of being all fancy with all the fancy paints and the epoxies and crazy shit. Oh, that's the old wifey. Hold on a second. Well, that was kind of fun. Were you able to hear that? Did that phone call come over the air? Kind of wondering. Grumpy. Oh, well. Doesn't matter, I suppose. Yeah. So, here it is Saturday morning. I do not have to go to work today. So I'm going to do a live and we're going to play. We're going to play. Kind of fun to play. It went to spinning. Oh, is that right? When she called it messed with the live. So you didn't hear the phone call, right? Okay. So you didn't hear the phone call? Doesn't matter, I guess, but kind of curious how that works. She's up in okay, good. I'll tell her later. She's up in Oregon, and she wants some more funds, and I don't have them, so she's going to ask my brother to give her some. Okie doke. Well, there's dude. Got some eyeballs, got some teeth. Hope he doesn't bite me. He was cranked out last night. Look, he looks pretty good for 1 day old. Okay, put him over in the corner, have a little coffee right here. Oh. Lazy days in the morning. Okay, so. Funky looking thing, isn't that? Shit, there's eyes right there. Okay. Yeah, there's a stem. It's definitely citrus. Oh, that's funky looking. Let's see what kind of damage I can do to this fucking thing. Yeah. Is that too big? Oh, that's just right. Cool. She's just a witchy woman. She's got Robert on her mind.
She's just a witchy woman.
Yeah, yeah. Ah, what the hell? Get down there, stay secure, you little shit. What the hell? Ah, you stay good right there. Yep. Oy. know about you guys, but I think that's kind of cool looking. Kind of reminds me of my grandma used to take apples and make apple dolls. She would dry out apples, and they would get all gnarly looking like that. That's kind of cool looking. I'm going to break out my nail polish here. You're going to paint that sucker up. It reminds me of that comedian that does. You have girlfriend? What? You know I have girlfriend? You like gel? I can't do it, but it's funny. That looks like skin tone, kind of. Shellac this son bitch with some shellac colored. Oh my, is that gonna work? Yeah. Okay, give you some of that. Kind of funky looking. Oh my God. Hey, Grumpy, with your turning on the lathe, have you considered making fishing lures? Dude, you could make some poppers on that flipping lathe. And I think you put some hooks on it and paint it up all nice. I think fishermen would buy that. Just a thought. Oh, you know what? My lock button on my flex shaft wears out all the time. Do you save the flex shafts that blow up on you? Because Jordy has videos shows you how to get up inside there so that you can Frankenstein and put a couple together so you don't have to buy a new one. Used to do spinner buzzbait. Oh, right on. Yeah, I don't remember ever selling any of the poppers that I made. I was using them myself. Boy, there's nothing like being out on a lake in a float tube with a fly pole. It's quiet. Nobody around. It's just you and the fish. And you throw one of those homemade flies or a homemade lure, and the bass come from underneath it, leave the water, and then come back down on top of that sucker. You get a bass on a fly pole. It's like a whale. It's flipping awesome because those bass fight so well. Oh my God, I miss those days. I still have my float tube. I still have my fly equipment. I sold my fly tying equipment because I can't see all that well, so I sold all my goodies. I got nearly $1,000 for all the stuff that I had, all those feathers and tools and crazy shit you need to tie flies. It's an expensive hobby, but having a bass come completely out of the water and then land on your lure and then head to the deep dark depths of the pond, Jiminy Christmas, that's awesome stuff. That kind of looks like skin color. Not really, but kind of. Whatever. Could have painted it green. Thought about that for a second, but decided not to. Okay. There's that. Stay. Oh, dude. I'll make him purple. Oh, I like that better. He's purple. Oh, that looks cool. One-eyed, one-eared, blind purple people eater. Oh. So, Grumpy, they tell me that you're going to go trick-or-treating dressed as Martha Stewart. What's up with that? I've made a few cork flies with deer hair tied to it back when I did the spinner baits. Yeah, it's fun, man. Now, you're in Florida. How's that? Good God, I would think the fishing in Florida would be amazing. Are you fishing for exotic stuff, or are you doing bass, bluegill, catfish like we are? Yeah, it is. I just don't do it anymore. I don't either. Sucks because I miss it, but I'm afraid now that I'm older that I'm more accident prone, and being on the water and accident prone just don't mix. Hell, I think I still have my waders because the American River is just a stone's throw away from us, and they've got a really good salmon run. I've got it up in there and caught some salmon. Oh boy, that's amazing right there. Never caught a salmon on a fly pole, but got it on spinner or bait casting. Well, you hook into a salmon, that's insane. I think my salmon I caught them as big as like 40 pounds. These are massive. And then you got, oh boy, salmon steaks for a while. Ooh, love me some salmon. Now, if you're at bass, bluegill, catheads, I'm northwest Florida. Nothing exotic up this way. Peacock bass are down South Florida. You ever deal, or do you have to look out for gators? Are you messing with gators? Those things are prehistoric. They scare the shit out of me. Big old lizards gonna bite my ass? Nope. I don't want to be nobody's snack. Oh my. Gators. Ugh. What are those fish that had long snouts? I think they're called gar. You ever fish for gar? There's gar in there. Over there, there's some gar. Hell yeah. Okay, what else we got up in my bag of tricks? Ooh, give him some orange. You're gonna look funky, dude. You got some crazy colors going on. Make his eyeballs orange, fluorescent orange. Crazy bastard. Way down deep in the crevices, his orange eyes. His orange eyes just stared at me. It was weird. It's only weird because Robert C. Peters is weird. Yep. But that's the way we roll up in here. Oh, shit. So I'm going to go up to the Emporium tomorrow, I think. Try to catch that boyfriend of Audrey or Aubrey. Audrey? Audrey. I think it's with a D. Audrey. Her boyfriend wanted to trade me a stick for some antler. And then I tried to contact him, and he was working his butt off cutting wood for the storm that's coming through. He's a handy kind of guy and had some opportunity to maybe turn a buck by cutting wood for some granny or something. I don't know. But I feel him, so I'm like, okay, whatever, we'll get together. Yeah, hell. He said he had a bunch of antler. I says, dude, we can do some trading. Yeah, do some trading. How about that? Is that going to work? What do you got up in here? See, the trouble is, God, that's gross. Okay, you're going to be thrown away. You suck. My supply of nail polish is wonky because I haven't used it in a while. Some of it's all dry. Oh, that was good. Got a good one here. Oh. Okay, I'm just going to pour that shit in. Give you glowy eyes. Glowy eyes! Wah, staring at me from the distance. I don't know what it is, but it's got glowy eyes. It's got glowy eyes. Oh, that'll work. Hell yeah. Glowy eyes. Oh, cool. You gotta see what I can do with a pumpkin. In fact, I need to get me a pumpkin. I want to carve one. Maybe that's what I'll do this afternoon. Either that or do another live. I'm bored, Grumpy. My wife's out in another state. It's just me and the cats. I can only pet a cat for so long, and I'm just like, I'm bored. Okay, that looks stupid. Oh my, why am I still painting this goddamn dude? He sucks. Well, I gotta give him some lips. Red lips. Because, I mean, he's ugly. Halloween, he's liable to get a kiss from somebody. You gotta have lips. Or maybe it's a she. Are you a she? Actually, in California, it doesn't matter nowadays. It's a they, them. Fuck, I hate that shit. Ugh. You ever have... Do you got that stuff going on in Florida, too? All of that... I don't even know what to call it. The they, them, and crazy... Oh, I don't want to be called a him or a her. Just call me they, them. Do you have all that going on in Florida? It's driving me bananas, I tell you what. I don't care. I mean, they can identify as a frog. I don't give a fuck. But to make me have to say they, them when I address them? No. You go play your little games on your own. I'll call you Bill, Sally, or Fred. But they, them? That's absurd. Pick a side. Be a girl for a day, be a guy for another day. I don't care. But pick a side. You can't be they, them. That's plural. There's only one of you. What the hell? Sorry, I'm ranting. Oh. Oh, is it everywhere? Kind of thought so. Oh, tell me this. Do you have smoking going on? I mean, cigarette smoking going on in Florida? I mean, it used to be you'd go into a restaurant and the waitress would say, would you like the smoking section or the non-smoking section? Is that going on anymore? Do we have anybody smoking cigarettes? See, If you want me to address you properly, then dress the part. Yeah, exactly. I got to be able to identify who I'm talking to. Didn't Saturday Night Live started all off with that character they had called Pat? You couldn't tell if it was a guy or a gal, and they ran with it. Everybody was wondering, I don't know. Is it a guy or a gal? I don't know. Those were the days when Saturday Night Live actually meant something. Nowadays, it's just ridiculous. Oh, my eyes are screwed. Looking weird. Oh, that's better. You're stupid looking, man. Okay, I give up. Fuck it. I'll put this off to the side. We'll play with it later. Oh, Scully Pop, how you is? Hey there. Hey, it's Saturday morning and I ran out of Captain Crunch, so I thought I'd come on here and fuck with you all for a while. I don't really have a project in mind. I'm just playing. Oh, goodness. I got a kink in my shoulder again. I'm going to have to go back to Jolene and have her do another Reiki session on me so I can get rid of my... Actually, that stuff worked pretty good. Did I tell you that story? It was weird. I don't want to bash it because I still don't quite understand it. But look it up, man. Look up Reiki. Reiki. The owner of the shop that I keep my stuff in over in Cool, California, does Reiki. She's a Reiki master teacher. And basically it's energy. It's you lie down on the table and you I'm gonna have some coffee. You lie down on the table and put your head on a pillar, and they have pillars under your knees so that you're relaxing. Yeah, because sound waves and vibes, and it was. Oh, wait a minute! I hear you. I need a chiropractic adjustment like no tomorrow. Yeah, I do too. Actually, this though is different. I wasn't quite sure what it was, and like I said, she's a master at it. She's certified this, that, and left ways and sideways, and she's damn good at what she does. She charges $150 a session for energy adjustment, manipulation, make you feel good type stuff. And I thought, now how does that work? And pillows and rubbing sounds great. Yeah, no rubbing though. Get this, it's energy. How can I describe it? Okay, first I come in and I know her, so it's not a introductory session or so forth, and we get right to it. She takes some sage, she burns it, kind of cleanses the room, and I've seen that done before. That's no big deal. That's hippie shit. And then she's got this little bottle of spritz, and she's spritzing around the room. She spritzes up and down herself. She spritzes up and down me. She says she's clearing the energy so that we can start fresh. Oh, okay, whatever. And it smelled kind of good. So maybe, I don't know, maybe she was clearing the energy and making the place smell good. Turns on some really light background music, which was wonderful and relaxing. I liked that very much. She has me lie down on the... she tells me, she says, now, for this, you can talk, you can not talk, you can open your eyes, you can close your eyes, just don't fall asleep, and enjoy the experience. I said, okay, well, fine. Now, she didn't charge me $150. We traded. I gave her some art for the session because that's the way I operate. And so she has me she tells me to lie down on the table, and I say, well, I'm going to take the stuff out of my pockets and take off my shoes and get comfy. Oh, yeah. So, and then she does as the sage around the room a little bit. And I guess that scares away the bad guys, whatever. And so I lie down on the table, and then she says, "Now, do I have your permission to touch you lightly?" And I said, "Absolutely. Whatever. I trust you." And she says, "Some people don't want that. Some people do. I can do it either way." And I say, I don't care. Just do your thing, Jolene. And yeah, lots of people have heard about it and don't know much about it. That's kind of where I was. I've talked to the medical community because I've been going through a lot of health issues, and I talk to everybody like crazy. And all the health people I talked to knew what it was, and they say it works, it's valuable, it's a good thing. Don't do it instead of medical attention, but do it in addition to, and it'll help you. It'll help you relax. So, and then she starts walking around me. The session has started, and let's see. I believe she started at my head, and she's saying softly, "Om, Om," and I thought, okay, here we go. And she's having her hands above me just by an inch or 2 inches, and she's touching me very, very lightly here and there, and she's kind of rubbing her hands in the air above me, just kind of like she was finger painting me without touching me, if that makes any sense. And she works her way from my head all the way down to my toes, and then comes back up to my head. And to my astonishment, really weird, from my elbows to my fingertips on both arms started to feel kind of like static electricity. You know, when you were in high school, they had those Tesla balls, and you would touch them, and they would, little bitty lightning bolts would shoot up into your fingers, and it felt kind of tingly, kind of static electricity. And then, for that matter, remember shuffling your feet and zapping your sister or your brother with static from the carpet back when we had carpet. It was like that. And if I had drawn a picture of what it would look like, it would be little 1/4-inch lightning bolts coming off of me. But there wasn't anything to be seen, but it felt like my arms all the way to my elbow to my fingertips were kind of electrified. And I'm like, what the hell? She got something going here. Now, I have neuropathy, so she disturbed something with her energy and got my neuropathy kind of stimulated, I suppose. And by golly, I felt the energy. I really felt the energy. It was weird. And I had walked into the session with my right shoulder had hurt the night before because I had a knot in my shoulder blade, and it just was bugging the shit out of me all night. I walked into the session with that pain, and the pain started to go away in my shoulder. And I think I attribute that to she was relaxing me quite a bit. And so she does all that. And then she has these tuning forks, is the best way to describe it. You remember how Grandma played the piano and she had these tuning forks? She'd hit the tuning fork and it would give a certain frequency, and she tried to match that note on the piano. Like that, but it had a little rounded ball on the end of the tuning fork, and she would bong, and then she'd touch that to the bottom of my feet, to the top of my hands, to my elbows, to my kneecaps, and to the top of my head. And that felt really cool. still had the tingling in my hands and lower arm, and it was just feeling wonderful. I was relaxing like crazy, and the pain in my shoulder pretty much went away altogether. Then on a table next to the bed, she had these big bowls, maybe an eighth of an inch thick bowls, about the size of a basketball. And they were different sizes, but the biggest was about the size of a basketball. And then it went down a little bit smaller, tapered down to, I don't know, maybe the size of a large bowl you would have soup out of. And they were white, frosty glass. And she rubbed her hands on the top of them, and they went and made a really cool sound that resonated throughout the room. And that was awesome. And so she's doing all this stuff, which is I would call it hocus pocus, kind of crystal hippie stuff, but it relaxed the heck out of me. It really made me feel good. And then she asked me, she says, now, we can also do a meditation. And I says, okay. And she says, now, I can take you to be able to talk to a lost loved one. I can take you to being able to talk to a lost friend. Basically, I can do a mild hypnosis. And I thought, okay, I don't know about that. And she says, what kind would you like? And I says, hey, it's just a standard. I don't have anything specific. I don't need to go see a lost one or a lost place, or I don't need to do anything specific. She says, okay, I'll just do a basic, kind of a what everybody would do rather than a more of a specific. So it was fun. It really was a cool experience. And then she talked softly, like somebody trying to hypnotize you. Now I don't believe I got hypnotized, but I closed my eyes, I relaxed, and she took me on walked me through, like had me picture the great outdoors and taking a hike and walking through the forest and walking into a meadow and then walking up onto a hill and sitting on top of the hill and then lying down on top of the hill looking up at the clouds and seeing a light come through the clouds, kind of like God's light coming through the clouds. And then she told me to follow the light and to travel up on top of the clouds and to look into the light. And then that kind of ended the meditation. She had walked me through a relaxation meditation. And then we were pretty much done. And the tingling in my arm and fingertips started to go away. But the overall experience was astonishing. And we had done a trade, so I hadn't really asked her what a session would cost. And we were done, and I'm feeling awesome, and we were talking after the session, and I said, just out of curiosity, what would you have charged for a session like that? And she says, Robert, I get $150 for that. I'm like, no way. And she says, yeah, and I've got a huge clientele. Automotive sensory meridian response. Oh, Scully Pop. Got big words going on. Sound ASMR. I don't understand what many of my community members come for the tingles. Okay. It was awesome. I'm never going to pay $150 for it, but that was cool. I've had massages, and that's a whole different realm, where I walk out of there just feeling like a bowl of Jell-O. I'm just so relaxed. This was at that level. I felt amazing, and not to the point of just feeling like a bowl of Jell-O, but mentally and physically, I felt on top of the world. And she she touched me a tiny bit, but hadn't touched me hardly at all. It was all the moving around of energy. It was really, really cool. You say it's where you speak in a whisper or soft background sounds which elicit tingles. Yeah, well, it certainly did. It's because you were in the bliss frequency. Okay. Come check out my show one night. What show? Oh, you mean a live that you do? Where's your show? Tell me more about that. What are you talking about? Check out my show one night. I don't understand. Are you talking about going live? Yes, I do a live reading show on my channel several times a week. Reading? What are you reading? Are you talking spiritual healing type stuff like this, or are you talking about a book? I'm sorry, I don't know. And if it's poetry, I'm very interested. But I think you're talking about in the realm of what I've been talking about for the last 10, 15 minutes. I'm confused. I read classic books in the public domain, stories I wrote, and submissions from the community. Yes, poetry, the works. Scully Pop. Dude, do you know the other half of me? I'm a poet. ASMR can be a lot of things. Sir, ma'am, Scully Pop. I'm not sure. I've heard of you, Scully Pop, but I'm sorry. I'm in the dark about stuff. Heck yeah. Scully Pop, please, forgive me. Are you male or female? Yes, I'm a sir. Okay, so, sorry. I'm a dork. I wrote a children's book. A children's poetry book. And if you'll give me half a second, I'd love to share with you my my flagship poem for my children's book. And since you're watching my live, you may be interested in hearing that. Okay, I want you to picture a little bake shop. Let's say you're in New York City and you walk to the corner and there's a little bake shop on the corner, and it's a place you like to go and get a scone, a espresso, and you sit on the chairs outside and you watch the world go by. You want to take that bake shop and turn it cartoon, because I inside my head I'm 12. I deal in the cartoon world. Now, this is a bake shop, has bread, has scones, has cookies. It's just a tiny little bake shop. And every night at the end of the shift, when it's time to go home for the morning staff, they throw stuff away and they make stuff. Another staff comes in and they make stuff in the evening so that they can sell the next day. Now, this is cartoon. We've got two cookies talking to one another. We've got a chocolate chip cookie. Her name is Cookie Sweet. And we've got an oatmeal cookie. His name is Otis J. Oatmeal. And they're talking to one another. Cookie Sweet is distraught because it's nearing the end of the day and she's scared. And Cookie Sweet sat lonely and blue. The day's almost over. What shall I do? Otis J. Oatmeal, he was a caring young chap. He spoke of a playland and drew her a map. Cookie, I'll miss you, but away you must go, where children they love you, cooked or just dough. But Otis, your map shows me just where. How in the world shall I get over there? Well, slide off the table, Cookie, my sweet. Cookies can roll. They don't need feet. Cookie, she made it. Cookie so sweet. Because cookies can roll. They don't need feet. Oh, do you? Fantastic. You know, I need to drop in on your live and see this. Fantastic. Yeah, that particular poem is the flagship for my little book. And right now I'm out. I've got my master. I need to go print some more. But I took my voice and I put it on CD along with the maybe 30 poems in a little binder, kind of a spiral hardstock paper binder, and then a CD, and I was selling it for $25. I've sold, about 150 copies of that thing at $25 a piece, and cost me about $8, including CD, to put it together. So I did quite well with that. Yeah, I've got a degree in English from Sacramento State University, and I was going to be a teacher. And we also do live theater shows where 10 people come up and read together on the live stream. Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. Very nice. Yeah, it was a really good degree. And then I went on to National University to get a teaching credential, and I was ready to teach, except all I had to do was get my class and do student teaching. And right at that time, and this has been quite a while back, the politics in the state were screwed, and the governor laid off 2,500 teachers to try to make ends meet for the budget for the state. He was a knothead. And so those 2,500 teachers still wanted to teach, of course, and they were waiting for his term in office to get out of the way. And they all went into the sub pool to be substitute teachers. Now, that's where I was, but I was not a certified teacher. Therefore, all of a sudden, I was obsolete. So I had to jump out of the sub pool, which I was using to make money so that I could finish up and get my certificate and get out to the teaching world. I had to scramble real quick to try to figure out what to do with my life and keep food on the table. Yeah, it sucked. So I put on hold my wanting to be a teacher and hoping that I could jump back into it once the dust settled, if you will. And good gracious, I took a left turn like nobody's business. I spent the next 17 years as an exterminator. Yeah, I was damn good at that. So, and I tried to jump back and finish out and do my teaching and so forth, but I had waited too long. The work that I did in my field had kind of dissipated. And if I wanted to do what I wanted to do, I would have had to go back through and take some classes that I didn't have time nor money to do anymore. We did live panel readings of The Wizard of Oz, Alice in Wonderland, Peter Pan, Shawshank Redemption, Jaws, etc. Dude, I'm loving this. I gotta check you out. Huh, that's crazy. I'm a great editor myself. Fantastic. Plus, I've written 5 novels. Oh my God, dude! You know, I recognize your name, Scully Pop. You've popped into lives and so forth. I've seen it. I've got to make sure that I'm subscribed to you. I'll look you up. Actually, if you have a link to your channel, post that, and I'll look you up and find you, because you're somebody I need to know. Outstanding, brother. What kind of poetry do you write? I have a big show tonight at 9:10 Central, so that would be 7:10 my time. Yeah, man, I gotta look you up. Scully Pop. Channel activity report as a monitor. Yeah, I think I've already got you. I don't know. I can't drop a link. I'm not a monitor. I'm gonna see if I can figure out how to do that. Hold on. Add as a monitor. Doink. Managing monitor, standard monitor. Did that help? Did that help? I don't know if that does it. I could do it. I'm not sure what I'm doing. Here, let me. Oh, there you are. Cool. Publishing buttons? What are you talking about? Oh, there it is. Cool. Whoa. I almost lost my live pressing buttons, but I got you. I'm back. Yeah, I was already subscribed to. I thought I was. I'm subscribed to an awful lot of people, but yeah, 7:10 tonight. I'll try to remember that. And I hit the button so that it'll alert me. So hopefully I won't miss your live. Yeah, I'm pushing them buttons. Hell yeah. Oh my. Let's see here. What else should we do up in here? Are you guys familiar with manzanita? Now, when you say we'd love to have you come up and read one night, does that mean I can do that on here and you just plug me in? Because I don't know where you are. Where are you physically? Just curious. Oh, there's nothing better than drinking coffee and messing around on the internet. Awesome blossom. I'm so glad I don't have to work today and still get paid. Hell yeah. You want to do the same? Go have a piranha lop off your toe. Yeah, long as you got earbuds and a phone. I don't know about the earbuds. I ain't got no earbuds. Oh, Mississippi Gulf, 1 hour from New Orleans. Cool. I know the Mississippi. Hell, I learned how to fish on the Mississippi. Cool. So I asked do you guys know about manzanita? Hold on just a second. Let me get the oh shit, spilling coffee. Oh, that's sacrilegious. Let me get my chunk of manzanita. I want to show you this stuff. God, I need to clean up this shop. I've got sawdust everywhere. Ugh. Ugh. Dang it. Quit spilling coffee, Robert, you knucklehead. Put your coffee over here. Oh, cool, Grumpy. That's coffee. That's coffee. That's good. Okay, what's this here? I wrote a monologue piece for tonight where Hannibal Lecter ends up on Bourbon Street looking for a man called Scully Pop. Oh, that's funny. Hey, Scully, not too far from me. Yeah. Okay, you guys familiar with manzanita? This stuff grows wild all around me. And it's really pretty stuff. I'm going to go back to messing with wood. You guys are welcome to keep with me if you like. We can talk a little bit later, but I'm itching. I'm caffeinated. I'm itching to play with my wood. I gotta play with my wood. So I'm gonna start messing around with this manzanita, see what becomes of it. And I'm gonna put on my mask and my glasses and make a lot of noise, and you guys can, I guess, talk amongst yourselves. I'm gonna try to make that live there, Scully. I want to see what you're all about, bud. Worn out my hand. All that vibrating. Damn. Okay, hit that like button. Say hi. Hello, Simon Breeds. How the hell are you, dude? Oh, man, I like watching your posts. You make some cool stuff there, Simon. Hey, Grumpy, you know Simon? Simon's cool people. Oh, my. Pour myself out, boys and girls. Shoosh. Can you guess what that's going to be? Yeah, buddy. Down and down. Put a little down. Bop, 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 ba-doo. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, you haven't made one of these in a long time, Grumpy. Oh. But they sell like crazy up in Joe's Emporium. Hoi-ha. 2 hours, good gracious. I'm gonna let you go, boys and girls. Thank you for watching. I gotta relax a minute, man. My arm's fried. Thank you for watching. God bless.